Melissa Amadio has been missing since February 26, 2025. Melissa left home on February 26th like she always does. She hugged her mom, said, "I love you," and left with just her purse and jeans. She told her mom she'd see her later, but hasn't been seen since.
Authorities believe that a woman found dead outside her wrecked vehicle on White Mountain on Sunday is a Green River woman who's been missing for more than 2 months. Though her identity has yet to be forensically verified pending an autopsy, the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office said circumstantial evidence points to it being 41-year-old Melissa Amadio, who was last seen on February 26th.
Hey fam, we're back today. This is going to be the start of a multi-part series. We kind of alluded to it in the last videos, getting ready with the 6x6, the equipment, that sort of deal. The local people understand kind of know what's going on a little bit. So we're going to break this up into a few parts here because it wasn't a few parts, like the recovery was done in a few parts. Basically, what we got today is we are going up and we are going to scout this recovery. It's kind of a somber deal. In late February, a lady went missing here locally, her and her vehicle. It took a couple months, but then she was found at the scene of a car accident off the face of White Mountain. It was in a remote area, in a hard area to get to, and it was about 1,000 feet from the top edge of the mountain, distance-wise, and about 500 feet in elevation down. The car's not hurt that bad, but she did die in the accident. We're going up today to check out the recovery on this, kind of get a game plan of what we're thinking we can do to get this vehicle out of here. We were told that basically it would take a helicopter to get this vehicle out of here. We've waited to release this footage until everything, the investigation, all of the stuff was dealt with, and we've had clearance from the investigating agencies as well. We have coordinated with law enforcement all the way along, landowners, that sort of deal, Bureau of Land Management as well. So it's been a proper. We went through the proper channels on this whole thing. It was important to do it right and do it the best we could. There's two main factors involved in something like this on this scale, or magnitude, I guess. I don't know what exactly to call it. Complicated. This complicated of a recovery, whatever we want to call it. The factors is we want to be sensitive to the family. We want to be sensitive to the environment. We want to be sensitive to law enforcement. Those are our three main factors in this whole situation. Plus, we want to be able to do it safely on our side of it, as safe as possible. So, today's video is going to be, us going up, scouting it, getting first looks at it, trying to formulate a plan on what the best way of going about it is, and then coordinating with, law enforcement, Bureau of Land Management, landowners, everybody to finalize an idea on what the most important factors are in recovering this vehicle. That's what we got. We felt it was important for closure for the family. We don't want a vehicle sitting up in the mountains like this. There was people going up from memorials and traveling up to this vehicle, and it's really rugged terrain. We didn't want people getting hurt going up and exploring this. We didn't want people going up and vandalizing it. We didn't want people, memorials are fine and stuff, but it's better at the top or the bottom. So, it was important, I think, for public safety and just for respect in general to recover the car. We're going to crush the car as well, and it's just one of the things we do with cars in this type of situation. It's just the most respectful thing we can do is, crush the vehicle, dispose of it, be done, and that way it's not hanging out around our place either. So yeah, this is a little recap on when we went up to scout it while we were still trying to form a plan. And then we'll do one of the recovery, maybe two of the recovery, depending on, it was a long recovery. We're all done now. So, it's important, I think, for us to be sensitive to this situation. The lady did have a lot of friends here. She was well loved. It was a sad situation all the way through. I'd ask everybody doesn't speculate stuff in the comments, any of that stuff, because there's no need for any of that. None of it really matters at this point. But basically, the important part is this lady lost her life. People are hurting, and so I asked everybody to have some couth and have some manners, have some respect. We gave a lot of thought on whether or not we would release these videos at all, and I still am not sure if releasing these videos is the right thing to do. But I think it would help some people with closure. I think it would help explain what we do and what we do go through. And I think the educational part of this and the human side of it, part of it, is I think worth the releasing the video. So we're gonna try and edit this the best we can, to showcase, be respectful, show the recovery, and and be tasteful in this situation. This is our first one we've released ever. We've done a bunch of these type of recoveries, but this is the first one we've ever released video on. So let's be respectful. Let's have some good manners. Let's treat people with respect. It does no good to, like I said, speculate or gossip or any of this stuff in any of this. The most important part is the family's hurting, and friends are hurting. So, let's be adults. So, all right, guys, here we go. We'll get into this. I'll do some voiceover on it. We kind of filmed it for film history rather than YouTube, I guess. So I'm going to have to do some voiceover in this, kind of explaining some stuff, because I didn't do a lot of intros or any of that stuff, because we originally were not going to release this. But I think it is important enough to release, and I think we are going to release it. So here we go. So after looking at it on Onyx Off-Road, we decided the best way to get to this vehicle was up from the bottom. And it's really steep from the top to where the vehicle is. It's not straight up and down vertical, but it's pretty steep. The hill we're going up right now is actually pretty steep as well. But this road takes us up onto this next little ledge here, and then from there we have to hike about 1,000 feet distance-wise over to the vehicle itself. Okay, this is that ghost of a road that doesn't really go too far. It's right up above us. That's what I was thinking. It is straight north and a little bit to the east of where we're at. Looks like right. Yeah. So as we're around the corner here, we get our first look at the car. Me and Ray are kind of talking a little bit about the possibility of taking the car down the ravine and out. It turned out to not be the case on what we're doing, but we gave it some thought at least. But we're about, I don't know, half to 2/3 of the way to the car at this point. As you can see, it's up there down in the ravine a little bit. It's really steep here, and it's steep in two ways. It's a side hill as well as being steep terrain as well. This is getting worse.
going down.
Yeah, it's getting messy. This stuff's about as close to vertical as you can get, really. Ooh.
It's hard going up too.
Yeah. It's better to go up and around. This side hill's brutal. It's not near as bad a shape as you think it would be, huh? If it rolled, it couldn't have done much. It did come from that way. Where's the other car? I wonder. This might take sparks.
So you're thinking up the top or down?
I don't think there's a good way to get it down.
Get up here.
There's no way to get up here. Plus it's BLM. It's BLM till about 200 feet up the hill.
Ray. I see. Need a heavy anchor and a long rope. That's a cable or something.
Antelope?
Antelope.
Just a little one.
I thought that was an eye.
So, yeah.
Down would be violent.
The problem is there's nothing good down.
Yeah.
And you'd have to drag it all the way across the bottom to where you get to a truck or rollback.
Yeah. Can't you get to that road right there?
The one you come up on?
Yeah.
No. Moses blocks it.
My buggy could get to that and drag it out.
Yeah.
Here,
It's just a long ways and a whole bunch of stuff. You know?
My buggy could probably get to the bottom of that waterfall down there.
Oh yeah, I'd say your buggy could just about get up in.
You're gonna tear safe day.
There's gonna be a lot more cleanup if we pull it up.
Down.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have way more cleanup going down, up than down.
I don't know. Up shorter. Like.
But going down, it's gonna follow a ravine that's gonna heal itself faster.
Yeah.
Going up, you're gonna tear on all that fucking pig that's right there.
Or even trying to go up that.
You ain't going.
Yeah,
up
you
that.
ain't going up that. It's got to go that way.
Yeah.
It's doable.
And what is this?
Renault or something. That's what he told me it was, but I don't know.
It's one of the French fuckers with 3 road nuts.
Yeah, it's a Renault. Could even be in the car.
In the body.
That's a mess.
Yeah, I think going up, you're gonna tear up a lot of sagebrush.
Well, and the chances of us snapping a cable going up, I think, are higher.
Aaron's like 3 feet away from me, 6 feet lower. So I'm not sure what that is in degrees, but that's a lot.
Ways down.
All right, fam. This video was basically, just of us scouting out the location of the vehicle and trying to formulate a plan on what we were going to do. We've weighed a lot of options on how to get it out of there. We looked at coming out the bottom, going straight down the ravine. In the big picture, it would probably be less of environmental impact, less damaging to the terrain if we went down the ravine. But in reality, I think the amount of effort it would take to get it down and drag it down that ravine, along with the variables on what would happen if the car got wedged, that sort of deal, just left too many variables that we couldn't control. Plus, like we said in the video, to get it all the way out the bottom, we got 3 miles we're going to have to drag the car because, you know, we can't bring a rollback up in there to, you know, load it up and haul it out. If we go up the hill, we have roughly 1,000 feet. We have to pull the car to the top edge, but we can get our tow trucks and our rollbacks and everything right there. So it's pretty straightforward 1,000-foot pull uphill. It is steep. It's like, say, 500 feet of elevation in 1,000 feet. There's spots that are less steep than others. All of it's on a hill. The last, I don't know, 400 feet are not vertical, but like they are, it's steep. So you know, and there's some pretty tall sagebrush in there. Some of it's around 6 foot tall. A lot of it's, you know, 3 foot tall or so, I would guess. You know, I would say, I guess is the best way of putting it. You know, the other thing we looked at is when we come out of the ravine, we're going to have to go away from the white cliffs that you can see in the video, where that second car is. The second car up there has been dumped probably in the 1980s, I would guess. It's been there for a long time. We're going to look at getting that out, but our main objective is this Cadillac. So basically our plan of attack is we're going to bring the 6x6 up in there. We're going to stage it right at the top of the hill, top of White Mountain there, and then we're going to put the Dodge Wrecker. It's got 150 foot of cable on the one spool, 100 on the other. We're going to put the Dodge Wrecker kind of alongside of it, and then if we need to, we're also going to bring one of Ray's vehicles up. They call it Redneck. It's a square body crew cab. It's got some weight to it. Yeah, we will use the winch on that if we need it as well. But we're planning on having 2 trucks pulling, 1 truck for support. We'll have the rollbacks up there. We're going to have, you know, quite a bit of support vehicles. We did look at flying it out. It would be, I guess, less complicated to fly it out, but a whole lot more expensive. And since we are donating our time and our equipment and not charging for this recovery, you know, we felt like it would be best to keep the expenses as low as possible. Plus, at this altitude, you're looking at 8,000 feet of elevation at the top of White Mountain, plus whatever you need to be above that with a helicopter. And derating a helicopter for the elevation, it would have to be a pretty serious helicopter, like something like a twin rotor or something that is crazy and expensive. And there's nothing around here locally that's like that. You could probably find something down in Salt Lake in that area. But then you're looking at flight time to get it up here, fuel, flight time up here, and then flight time to get it back. And that's not cheap. If I would have thought Sparks' Black Hawk could have done it, I would have called him, but looking at the specs online, I don't think at this elevation that his Black Hawk is capable of picking up something of this weight. We did talk with you know, a couple other companies that do these off-road recoveries out of Utah to see what their thoughts were on it. But when it was all said and done, you know, we have the equipment to do it, so we just went ahead and did it. So that about wraps up the scouting this car out. We've made a plan now. Plans are subject to change as always because, you know, we kind of shoot from the hip and gotta, you know, think on the fly. But overall, I think we have a good plan to get this thing out of here. In the next video, we're gonna have the recovery. So as always, like, share, subscribe, you know, help us out. We love our fans, and we want to keep doing this. Let us know what you think. I mean, I know there's going to be people. I know there's going to be people on both sides of this. Like, share, subscribe. You know, let's get this out there. You guys can help us out. We got really good fans. And we like doing this kind of stuff. We do it regardless of whether we have YouTube or not. But it's something that's interesting, and I think it's good to share. So, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.